So here we are for Heat 1 of Kart Stars Canada. It's the final round, and it will be a night race for the final, but we race through the day for the heat racing and pre-final. No practice on this track, unfortunately. I only had one session, or one day on it, I should say, earlier in the year, and that's about it. So we're going to go to the green here, and you will see me get an awful start. I just got to the gas a little late or just bumped him in the wrong time, and yeah, so immediately lose position, or not position, but I should have gained a position being in fifth, and then getting all bunched up here, I end up going way too slow, and sixth place just drives right around me. Good move on his part, and we're gonna file through here and just settle in. I'm not looking to pass these guys right away, as I do know I have some pace, so it's a matter of just staying clean and, finishing well at the end of each heat rather than trying to get to first right away. This tends to be the way people think a lot, and it ends up biting them because they end up getting a wreck almost every weekend in heat racing, thinking that way. So yeah, I like to settle in and follow the leader a little bit if I'm not leading already, which I usually am in Goodwood, so this is a little different for me. And yeah, so coming through here, I already noticed in that turn there, I seem to be a little quicker, but my entry seems to be a little different than theirs, and I just accordion effect, and I end up losing every single time I go through there, it seems, through the week there, the day. So yeah, and then here I don't want to push them off. I had a pretty good run through there, so I just kind of ducked to the inside a little bit and try to take some of that momentum off without braking, because I definitely would have hit him off if I kept pushing him there. And then coming through here, I think everyone behaves, and I think there's an incident coming up here. Yeah, so they start passing, or Kevin tries to pass Zach. So now he's stuck kind of in no man's land on the outside, and he's just going to drop a wheel here. And that was extremely hard to avoid. It looks a little slower on video, but I only just barely make it past him, and my teammate behind me there does not fare so well. So now I'm by myself, and now there's a nice gap to the pack in front of me, so not ideal, but at Goodwood, you can kind of make up for it with how tight the track is. The draft isn't everything at this track, so it's probably why I excel a little more here than other tracks. But so now I'm going to try and close the gap as much as I can here. You can see through that corner there, I gained like maybe a cart or two there alone. And then I'd say through the rest of this lap, for the most part, it's fairly stationary. I might gain a little bit coming up to this corner here. I can't remember. Yeah, I gain a lot. Mainly because he makes a mistake. You can see the gap in front of him now. So now I'm thinking, all right, he's starting to make mistakes. Maybe he's tightening up. I'm going to have to pass him as soon as I get to him, or me putting pressure on him could just result in more mistakes and more time loss. So disposing of him as quick as I can. As you can see, I'm trying to line him up here, not push him, and just trying to slingshot past him here. But he does a good job with the brakes, and I don't want to push it as it is heat 1, so I just think better of it, and I'm going to fall back in line here. Yeah, they're not running away from us. I think also Kevin's struggling. I think he was struggling with his elbow or arm or something that day, so I'm trying to remember everything. It was a few months ago, so bear with me. But yeah, here he's gonna get a good run on Kevin. As you can see, Kevin's dropping back huge, and he's gonna just point us by here. He's a smart racer, so he's not gonna do anything silly if he knows there's something wrong. Yeah, I really like racing with Kevin, so always a good time. And here I'm gonna try again to see if I can get by him, but no dice. And then I think now I'm thinking, all right, I gotta maybe just push them to the other two, because they're still fairly close. They could get together and start pushing away from us, so that's the last thing I want to happen. And he's doing a pretty good job through this lap. I'd say I gained a lot through that corner there, on him and most people. And this sets me up good for a good run down the straight here. And I'm just going to time it just right where I can pull out right to, well, braking zone for most. I tend to just do a lift. But yeah, we get a nice clean pass done. Don't lose much time at all. And now we can hunt down Ellie and Zach. Ellie takes a look there and sees it's me now coming up behind him, so he knows I'm gonna come for him. That's for sure. And you'll probably see him look a few more times, I think, through this race. I can't remember fully, but yeah, I was coming. So as you can see through a lot of these corners, I'm just half a cart to a cart every corner. I'm just gaining on him. And you can see Zach's pulling away from him too. So I think he's tightened up for the end of this race or something. I'm not totally sure. Or he might have an issue as well. I didn't get the lowdown from him, but yeah, I caught him pretty quick. I also set the fastest lap of this race, so it wasn't a surprise I was catching people quick, and the cart was feeling really good, so yeah, no surprise, but I did catch him a little quicker than I should have, so I feel like there was an issue. And being a heat race, I didn't want to push it too much, so for the rest of this lap, I just sit behind him. Ellie's a tough competitor, but, you know, if you get beside him and he knows he lost the corner, he's not going to, fight you too much. He's pretty respectful that way, but he's also not going to give it to you. So keeping all that in mind, I just sit behind him for the rest of this lap. His pace actually seemed to improve on the last lap there, so I was happy to sit there, and third place isn't bad. So I'll take the fastest lap, and yeah, I left the car alone for the next heat, I believe, because everything seemed to be going very well. So I'll see you guys on Heat 2, where I'll be starting in the same spot as It's Not Progressive.